and welcome to What the Flock TV. I'm your host, Paul, What the Flock TV. So guys, I want to thank you for the love and support, and if anyone has been hiding under a rock for safety or just waiting for the new year to begin, I have another channel called Thinking Man, and I've put links in. If you remember, I put a link in this as well, and your support on that has been brilliant. It's only been a couple of weeks and I've got 2,000, and the views, you guys, just appreciate your support, guys. You don't get told enough, and sometimes we have a little moan over the bad stuff and we don't appreciate the good stuff enough, and that's you guys. So please check out the Thinking Man. So I have had double figures, triple figures of people contacting me saying, hey, have you saw such and such, this channel, they're talking about Janus now. He's in such and such a channel talking about Janus now. And I thought, you know what, it is good that other channels are talking about it now, because again, I'll get into the things of what I'm actually going to talk about today, because I've done a lot of videos. The last video was about a year ago, where I basically put not all the information, but made a compactable short video on showing you the significance of Janus without really where did I get the information from, because people were asking for that type of video. So I did that, and I'll put that link in the description. There's many. You can go to the playlist on What the Flock TV. There is a Janus section. Just go and check it out when you can, guys, because I forget a lot. There is a lot of information on Janus. So with all these people making content and doing shows and posts, and a lot of them are primarily, do you know about January? It's not the actual start of the year, but sorry, I've posted about joking about it. And it's like, where have you guys been when I've been posting it all year round? I've just incredible the amount of people who's been reaching out on social media about this topic, and you can understand why. I'm known for Janus. It's funny that I'm known for Janus, but I'm totally ignored by a lot of people on Janus. So it's both ways, but it's beautiful to see that people are really researching it now, and I'm proud. And I'll get into the other things, because some of these are going into questions. So what I thought I would do a video basically going through some of the questions that have been asked over the years, because you can't really answer on some of these questions because you haven't got full pages to do. So I've just picked out some that came to my mind straight away, and I thought, you know what, I know I've done a short video on Janus, but I've not done like a Q&A where people have asked a question. And I'm sorry I forgot some of your names who asked these, but I'm not being lazy. I just don't have the time to go through all the videos and pinpoint your name, so I do apologise for that. But if you recognise it as being your question, there we go. That's enough. So some of these will be interlocked. I will be going back and forwards, no pun intended, and yeah, this is where we're going. I just thought it'd be interesting for you guys to just, sometimes I'll give a bit more of an opinion, because when I do a video, I like to put a lot of information out there and let you guys pick which path you want to take. A lot of channels say it's this, and people like that, and it does hurt me and my channel that I'm so open that I leave things open, because people sometimes don't like that. They want to be told, and this is why if the big channels put the contact of Janus that I have done, it'd be viral. They'd have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they'll all be hailed. But because it's lonely old What the Flock TV or the Black Sheep Researcher, we don't. But that's life. Sometimes we just don't get, the nods that we deserve. So first question: what is Janus's oldest name? Questions in the post. Answers in the post, sorry. So what I've been able to find, and you will have names like Enki, EA, they're just some of the few, but in written form, when you get from books and that, where they actually mention Janus's name with this entity, is IA. Yes, I and A. And some of you people straight away will think, wow, that's AI reversed. The pushing of AI and transhumanism. I'll not mention that Janus is a god of transitioning and transitions. Well, that makes more sense, Paul. If someone is a god of transitions and transitioning, and they want to make us more computerized and AI, if the AI was called IA and that is tied to Janus, why are people not talking about it? Exactly. So its oldest name is IA, and according to, I can't remember this book, but it's in the videos if you want to check it out. It serves the basis of many names for God in many cultures. So you have Yah, Jah, Iha or Iha or Iha, Ihah, Yahweh, Yoveh or Yov, Jehovah, Allah, Janus, Ionos, Uranus, Uranus, Oans, and so on. So they're just a few that was mentioned in the book, and you have to go, wow. When I found that years ago, that blew me away. And this goes into other things, like the second question that I'll go into, that I'll interact with this: why do you research Janus? Well, if you guys find something significant to you, and like I said, we all have hard topics that, you know, we fall back on and research and keep the pedals turning because we see something. Our intuition is saying, hey up, Paul, there's something here. And from the very first moment I found Janus, the significance, I went, why is no one researching Janus? So I found Janus researching Tatary stuff, and it was from a town in Italy called Genoa, which is named after Janus. That's what they say. So when I say these things, it's just what I found information on. So again, everything is an opinion based and how you see things. So, you know what I mean? I never say anything that's fact. This is just what I found over the years, and it excites me. So I found Janus researching Genoa. I don't know why I was looking at Genoa first. I just saw a cool image and thought, wow, let me have a look at Genoa a bit more in detail. Noticed on one of the crests I had two-headed god. I'm like, wow, two-headed god. And you do know of Janus as double-headed god, but it doesn't sink in. You know what I mean? You don't see the significance. So, Janus. And in the cathedral, a really old cathedral there, it talks about how the town was founded by Janus. How he was a progeny of giants, which ties into another thing is, and again, some of these things have been passed to me by people who watch. And I can't remember the lady who passed me this, but I've got it. I would have got it, but if people can help you get there sooner, you know, go for it. So when in English language we use something in past tense, sometimes it says we put a T on the end, meaning it's past tense. So a derivative of a name of Janus is Gian. It's John in Italian. So Gian, and Janus was a giant. So do me a favour, I said I've put these in videos. So Janus was a giant, he was a progeny of giants. And in past tense, because there's no longer giants that we can see with our eyes, you can see the evidence of them, whether you believe them or not. You know, it's perspective on what you see. Put a T on Gian. So Janus's derivative, another name for Janus is Gian. Gian. Put the T onto Jan, you get what? Giant. So they even named giants after Janus, because he was one. Again, why are people not mentioning this? I don't know. Well, I do know, and that is another question. We'll get to. So I don't know how to keep going back and forward. So sorry, I'm just drinking my herbal tea. So I found Janus there, and soon as I saw the significance, my alarm bells, you know, my intuition, ding, 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 there's something more, and I just jump right in. And I've not turned back since. I'm finding more and more and more on it. So this is what I do. Janus's old name is IA. Obviously you can see AI. This then went into finding it in Genoa. And Genoa also means to knee. So when you see all these celebrities and leaders kneeling in rituals, they kneeling to, you got it, Janus. So why do I research Janus? Is because I saw that early significance, and when I dived into it, like I was saying, deeper, I couldn't believe the information I was finding. You're like, wow, why is no one else researching this? And I put this information out, and again, this is another question that I was asked: why do other channels and creators ignore your research? And bluntly, you should ignore my research, because you should research yourself. You should never take my information as fact. I state it's not. 9 times out of 10 I'll show you where I got the information from, but it's how we interpret what we see. So no one should ignore my research, but should use it as a springboard to go and look for yourself, if that makes sense. But yeah, I do get ignored a lot. I'm not easy to, I don't help myself. I'm not easy to get hold of, because like I said, I'm busy 24/7 looking after my mother. That's my priority, and I want my children, etc. So that is hard. But what people, and I have a lot of people messaging me all the time, is they try to promote me by saying, have you seen Janus's video, What the Flock TV? Now thinking, man, and they get ignored. And they say, what have you done, Paul, to channels to make them ignore you? I have to let into a little secret. When I started researching Janus properly, I was ridiculed like you have never seen ridicule before. Content creators were passing images of my posts, my videos, and laughing and mocking them. And these people are who you follow. And they were mocking, and like anyone is entitled to do what they want on their own channel and behind closed doors. But if you're gonna mock and laugh, I don't mock anyone. Have I done it before? Yes, I have. I'm human. You know what I mean? I ain't perfect, and I don't pretend to be. But when you learn from your mistakes, you should learn from your mistakes. And I won't ridicule anyone like that and pass images around and I laugh at other content creators, even though I don't believe in some of the things that they're trying to get out. So I was ridiculed, trolled, and laughed at. Yet these channels are all subscribed to me channel and use the information in their videos without giving me a shout out or a heads up. And I do find it, what's the word? I do find it funny and ironic that these guys hated me so much, they laughed at me, and they don't have the gonads to come up and say, you know what, Paul, we were wrong, let's bury the hatchet, you know. So, but they don't, because it's ego. And listen, I have an ego, and some of these things do affect my ego, because it's when you put a lot of time and effort into a subject and show how important it is, and people come along, mocked you, and then years later they go, shit, to see the error of the ways basically, and why the significance of it is, I start doing content on it and ignore you, that you're not even there. It's hard. And we all, like I said, we all have our go-to subjects. You can go to any channel that you want to think of in your head, what they're famous for, you know, what brought you to them, and we all have that subject. Like I said, I've got loads of content, but I'm known for this. So if I, like, my speciality is this, it's funny that I get completely ignored in the community, but that's what it is. So you've either got to smile, grin and bear it and move on. There's no point in you holding vendettas. We have an ego, and it does hurt that I put a lot of effort and time. These people call and ridicule me, but again, it's spells. Is if you're a proper truther, you won't troll and you won't call anyone because you know the significance of the spell. So just have that in mind, guys, when you do content, that if someone's calling you, they ain't a proper truther. And I don't like using that word truth because I've showed you the video, truth doesn't actually mean what it is. And again, I got trolled heavily on that. Because people don't want me. It's not me saying this is fact. Go and check it out for yourself. I'm not like making the stuff up and then showing you. This is what the etymology says. So this is why I researched Janus. It's because I got told don't. I got told the significance of Janus because they basically, I've had huge channels, double, triple what I've got, being asked, and people have showed me being asked, research Janus, Paul does it on What the Flock TV, and they're like, he's not significant. They've just Googled it. And then these are the people who go around telling you to research and don't do this and do this. We're all lazy. We're all sometimes intrigued by a certain topic. You know, we ain't perfect. Just admit we're not perfect. So I researched Janus because I was told not to, basically. I was told, you're wasting your time. Carry on with doing what you're doing. And poof, what have I found? The key. But that's why pardon me, it's why I researched Janus, because Janus is a janitor. And what does a janitor have, people? The keys. It opens all the doors. So when you are researching a topic and you can see now that this God's name, and again, this is just one of his names, but this is where I found all the information, basically a lot of the information. So you could look into another God's name, find a lot of intrigue in gold, as I call it. But when you start putting Janus's name, doors were getting opened. And I was finding all this extra information. For instance, like Janus, other name is Apollo. Apollo is a part of Janus. Not me saying it. Ovid and Macrobius, whatever the names are, were saying this. And Diana. And think about it now. We all can all laugh, but they say we've been to the moon. Blah, blah, blah. What was the name of the first moon landing? Apollo what? 11. Please, what is Janus's number? So they've showed you these things, and it's been hidden in plain sight. So they're going from Earth to the moon. And I'm saying this sarcastically, people. Please don't get triggered. But what is A to B? It's a transition. So they're going from Earth to the moon realm. And transitioning, they're going through boundaries. He's a god of boundaries. He's also known as terminal. That's what you still have when you go to the bus terminus. And boundaries. And they call it Apollo 11. So there's always a connection to Janus, and that is why I research Janus. Why? Because he connects everything. Why would you not research something? Because 9 times out of 10, people listening today will hold their hand up and say, I was a bit dubious at first, and then once I saw Janus, I saw him everywhere. You will see it everywhere because you've opened the door. Another name he's known is I Am. Who's used that name? I Am. I am the door. That goes into other questions that I will answer soon, but that is why I research Janus. It's because, one, it's opened a lot of doors. 2, I was told not to, and when I get told not to do something, the little child, call it petulance, but I'm like everything, people say, why did the government say don't do that, or don't go and look over there? You'll go and look over there. It's just that old adage. I've told you on here, don't take the red pill or the blue pill. Change your own path. He's a god of paths. His other name is Ptah, Pater, father, Ptah. Egyptian god of creation. So all these gods are associated with Janus, or the entity behind. You know, it's like all them. Janus just has the keys. So imagine the key. Well, you know, the janitor has all the keys, and it's funny that the janitor, or the person who holds the keys in the Vatican, which is one big key, and Janus was the first pope. His name is Jan, or Janus. That is Janus. So that was ironic. So yeah, you can imagine a key, big old-fashioned keys, like the olden days, loads of keys, and each one of those keys is another god. So when you look at a subject, a god, I can guarantee it. I can find a connection. And it ain't just me saying, well, Janus is technical this, so that is. I'm telling you old texts and books. Again, take everything as information. Don't take my word as fact. Go and look for yourself. You will probably find information to say the contrary, that Janus is not that. Because again, everyone has an opinion. So you find an opinion on the internet. I found that Janus, be god of creation. Saturn is another name that Janus goes by. Saturn is Janus, or the entity. That was the precursor. Janus is a precursor of the entity behind that, and they used that ethos to create that. So it is mind-blowing. And Kronos, and I've showed you in videos of people saying this in books. If you're going to use books to discredit me or other theories, if another book comes along, do you just ignore that? Do you just pick what you want? I try and be objective. I just find it fascinating. That's why I research Janus, because I'm blown away that this god is so well connected. And why is that? Because if I can remember the Latin, Janus is known as Deorum Deo, I think it is. It's in the video. Trying to remember everything off by heart, and that basically means God of gods. So in Rome and other places around there, when you had to pray to a god, you had to pray to Janus first. You had to use him to get to the other gods. The bridge, the intermediate, the taxi service A to B, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. And people hone it on Janus and say the two heads. And again, a lot of people research Trump is Janus. There is a lot of connections. And I think, is it Casey from Internet started video many years ago on that? But Janus is so much more than that. That's just his two-headed form. He has many heads, from 2 to 4, and even more in some aspects. And that is just his bifrons or bifrons face, the two-headed form. And what's funny is at the location where Rome was so-called created is an archway with 4 faces called the Janus Quadrifrons or Quidafrons, the 4-faced god. So that's when he had 4 faces. And on the oldest bridge in Rome, his statue got moved. I can't remember where it got moved from, but they moved it. I don't know if it got destroyed or whatever. And now it's on the bridge. One of the oldest bridges in Rome is Janus's 4 heads. So this is why I research Janus. Why wouldn't you? For instance, the connection to Genoa. Genoa is accredited for being the modern Western world where they get the money and everything from that type of, not materialism, capitalism. Capitalism was supposed to have been, I think it might have been a little bit earlier, I'm not quite sure, because like I said, you can't believe dates. There is a Muslim version, and there is also this version that capitalism came from there, and that's where the first bank, people talk about the Knights Templar, they did like the first basically check thing. You took a piece of paper from one end, the transition to be, and you got your money at the other end. Well, the first modern day capital bank state, like the Rothschilds type, like the thingy in America, the bank, US bank, federal bank, was there. So again, you can see the significance of the town, the name, the Black Plague, everything is connected with Janus. The first person to use biological, according to history books, was called Janus, who catapulted dead bodies over walls. So that is why I researched Janus. So if you need an ambulance or something, but you can see the significance. Why would you not look into a topic that is always given? Because there's always something there for people to look into. That is why I research Janus. So number 3 is, why do other channels ignore your research? And like I've always said, you should ignore research and research it for yourself. I don't think they were like asking that type of thing. It's like, why do people ignore you? Again, we've had all these videos. I've saw, it's about, I would say 11 then, but it might be 14 or 15 different channels talking about Janus, and not one of them mentioned me. And it's like, that is maybe your ego, and I do, I have an ego, but it hurts when I got so ridiculed. And you can be the I'm bastion, nothing hurts me, but we're human. If you put so much effort into researching a topic and making content for years, these people ridicule you, call you so many names, then them using your research, then them making content on Janus and not mentioning where they get it from. What's wrong with saying, I got it from here, I got it from there? But that's just life, so you have to get on with it. Like I was telling my daughter the other day, when bad things happen, it's how you respond to it. And you can only have your moan and you'd be pissed off, but in the end of the day, you have to sort it, or you have to basically live with it. So I want to enjoy life as much as I can, and let, if life lets me. So we have to be positive and just appreciate people are looking into it. And I know you guys, because you guys have asked me these questions, and you guys have messaged me to say all these channels are talking about Janus. So how come they don't mention you or don't ask you on? You will have to ask them, guys. I'm ignored. As again, some of these people might not be ones that originally ridicule me. Some of them you forget. Sometimes you just forget that you've ridiculed people and ostracized them because you've moved on. A lot of things have passed. We've had the pandemic. The pandemic was a ritual to Janus. I showed you this from the first recorded so-called death being on a certain day, to the tests being on people who were showing you the Petar. That is Petar, Peter, same etymology, Peter, father, Janus, to the machines tested on it. I've been showing this for the years. To all the gematries adding to 11 for near enough all of these mutated viruses and different things. Oh, said that word, that'll be scratch. I only said via us, I was saying, I was talking about someone else. I'll be in trouble. So this is what you have to watch when you research Janus. Why is this god connected? And as I've said, he holds the keys. One of the oldest rituals in the Vatican, which he was first pope. Again, old books, I've showed you this in videos. You don't have to set my word for it, you can go and check them out. Shows you he was the first. He always has to be first. That's why they moved the months and created January to become first, even though it's not the start of the year. And there's so many different types of calendar. Calendar is derived from calends. So every first day, so Janus has January, it's named after him. Janus also has February the 1st, March the 1st, April the 1st, May the 1st, and he has also other rituals, but he has all the first day of every month, basically. And that's what's called the calends, and that's what the calendar became. So you have Janus in charge of the calendar. You have him holding the 365 in his hand, showing you the significance of him. So why is no one researching Janus? Oh, the pineal. Open your pineal. They are trying to calcify your pineal. Pineal, pineal, pineal. What is the occult name of the pineal? Janus. Why is no one ever mentioning that fact? Because the channels now have to come to a thing. You either suck it up and research it and just take the information for what it is and enjoy researching it because it opens a lot of doors, or you can just ignore the fact and skate around it because you've been ridiculing me for a long time. And that's what some of them have done. That's why when you guys will mention it, and people have told me, the people of these channels have been quite funny with them when they've mentioned my name. Again, I'm not saying I'm the fucking Janus researcher. I've just researched it a lot more than people, and we have our speciality subjects. There's a lot of people brainier and smarter than me. I've just put a lot of connections with this and put it in the videos over the years. So if people talk about Vatican, talk about that event, the pandemic, talk about the banking system, talk about all these pineal, and Janus is connected to all of them, why not research it? People talk about how, for instance, people talk about the orphan trains, and that's the thing to talk about. But they won't tell you there was an older orphan train called the Children Crusades, where the children got trafficked, basically, in Genoa. Why not? Again, it seems like we're pushed in directions to what research, and if you go against the so-called leaders and idols that they mount themselves as, you get ridiculed and you get ostracised, and that's what happened to me. People always ask me, why have I not got more and more subs? Again, you either like my research, my videos, or my voice, my accent, just rich, and you can understand that. We're all different. People can understand me quicker than others. I'm no different than you. I'm just a person intrigued by information, and I've made myself a platform. And I see other platforms and they got triple the subs, they're getting all the accolades, and they're using a lot of my information because I do a lot of other videos, and I get ridiculed. But I've gone past that now. It did hurt at first because you want your peers. For instance, if you was a shoemaker, or you're an artist, or you made pottery, and all your work gets ignored and someone comes along, basically copies you, puts it out and gets all applauded, it does hurt. But that's life. We just have to butt up and bend over and take it sometimes. But who says we have to take it, quietly? So this is me making a video showing, hey guys, you've researched Janus, check out my videos on him and see the difference, because they're not telling you what I'm showing you. And then these people making content that I've not talked about Janus, that's where I get to learn. So we're all here learning off each other, and we should give each other shout outs. But gone are those days. So that is why other creators ignore my research, because most of them ridiculed me. Hence why I got the black sheep name. That was me sticking my fingers up. That channel got taken down. I created What the Flock TV, because obviously flock and sheep go together, and the TV bit was just, instead of calling myself What the Flock, there was other channels called What the Flock. What do I put with the flock? I put the TV. And even people are calling that bit, why have you got a TV? Why are you using your phone? Why are you using a computer? It's all a screen mirror. It's all connected. It's all programming. So another question I get asked Janus a lot, and again, I don't know the answer to this, it's just my interpretation, is Janus evil and good? To me, he's both. To me, he's neither. To me, it's the intent. Janus is like the hacker, the magic that connects. You have to go from anything, you have to transition yourself. If you're going through the front door, you have to walk through the front door. If you are researching and you're reading a book, you start at the beginning, you end at the end. It's a transition, it's a journey, it's a path. You have to go from A to something, whether it's B or A and half. You can understand what I'm saying. So everything has to go through Janus. I've not said this, ancient books have. That's why they say and pray to him first. They have to use him. So that to me is, if all the world is a frequency, hence why I call all the world frequency keys. He holds the keys, the music. Cymatics. That's another huge subject people look into. Cymatics, etymology, CY, can go back to IA. Basically the entity behind Janus. Wow. Why do people not tell you that? I have. But it's just my opinion. Again, research for yourself, guys. So you can see why I get excited, and this doesn't mean that you guys should get excited, because we all have our things that we get excited at. Like, you'll have a topic and I'll go, well, I don't like that, but you're like me, pinging around the room on it. And that's the beauty of it. That's why I always say we should all share information, because you can find connections everywhere. Janus connects everything. So Janus is neither good or evil, it's how it is used. The Elites use it for evil. We use it for positive. We use an evil system, the beast, the Ouija board, the mouse, the cursor, the cursive. And we use it for good, getting a different, more positive message through. We're using the connection, the medium. So that is where, and I also get asked, is Janus Jesus? Janus is also, other name is the Trinity, when he has three faces. You can actually, the two-faced, the third one's invisible. In the now, you don't see it. But in old books, he's known also as a Trinity. So when you see images of Janus or Jesus or a God with three heads and he's doing this, they're telling you it's basically Janus. What number is Janus? 11. Or the 2 or the posts. It's a doorway. So basically that's a doorway. So if you write anything down, so if you just draw 11, and you can see it on there, 11, it's basically, you only have to put a circle, and it's a door. It's also known as number 7. So then you can start to say, oh, why? So he's 7 too. 7 is a door ajar, partly opened. I am the door. We are the door. All the significance in talking about this. Now, I'm not saying Jesus is Janus. I'm just showing you what I have found. If you take offence to that, that's your problem. I'm just showing you the information I found and how I look at it, and how a lot of people over the years have looked at it. There's too many similarities. You have Baphomet doing this. Remember, the Baphomet that you see is Elias. Is it Elias or Elpheus? I can't pronounce it. Levi's 19th century interpretation with the breasts transitioning. Who's the god of transitioning? You know, it's even funny. I've got them delude people thinking I am a woman. Again, we have to watch what we say, because people just use anything against us, and it's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in when people are like that, are walking outside. It's a scary thing. It is, and you can understand it. So when Baphomet, which when the Freemasons or the Knights Templar worshipped him, he had 3 heads. It's in my short video. Oh right, and he's doing that. That's to signify, you can say above or below. To me, is L11, the realm we live in, the jurisdiction of L. And in other videos, you showed in the video that if you draw a door, so it looks like a door or a window, but you know, it's a door, right? And as you can see, the letter E, or whatever way you want to look at it, you can go it that way, because I don't know if it's reversed. E, and then you've got the L. It's funny that the door turns into Elohim, the gods. And all these gods come under the umbrella of Janus on the keys. Baal, you've got Cush, you've got Nimrod, all being said in books are just other names for the entity known as Janus. Where's the questions gone? So you can see why I research it, because of this very fact. Why would you ignore something that connects a lot of things? So again, is he got evil or is he good? No, it's the intent. It's like a wand, it's like a gun, it's like anything in life. Words can be swords. They can make you feel beautiful. They can make you feel alive. Or they can make you want to kill yourself. And that's why I always say, you don't call yourself a truther if you're cursing people left, right and centre. Because you cause an injury. And people can say, the bots. Yes, some are about bots. But the startling fact is some of these people are real. And that's the worrying thing. So, why do the Elites worship Janus? Because he is the Deorum Deo or Deus, the God of gods. They know the importance of it. And another epithet or name for Janus is Cernunnos, the horned god. That's why you sometimes see them images of a Jesus or a god like, and half his face he has horns, like Aquarius or Capricorn and things like that. He's in charge of the calends. The 11th month was moved to the 1st. That's just a coincidence. If you can hear glass breaking, it is the recycling. So that is why they worship him, and they know the significance. So if they want to get to another god, even evil, pardon me, you want to get to anywhere and you have to go through boundaries, they have to use Janus. People think there's a lot going on at CERN, and then there's a lot of people who don't believe it and just say it's just them trying to, say it is. Well, saying it is also a spell. So they do want to create something. But I do get what you're saying when people say that. But if Janus is also known as Cernunnos, CERN, opening doorways and portals, how many videos have you saw talking about CERN and Cernunnos, and then someone will come along and go, yes, well, Janus is a god of portals. I've been telling you this for years. Where's a shout out from them? Yo, guys. And again, that's what we're showing this week. Someone did a video mentioning that. You know what I mean? You guys know where you heard it first. And again, that's me ego talking. And I've reined it in a lot. But it still hurts. Because I put a lot of hard work into it. And when other people it's like life. You work hard, someone else gets promoted. And you left there. Or someone gets applauded. It's your ego. And it does hurt. And it does hurt your confidence. But like I said, I've then gone into things of life is, well, in the end of the day, I have a very, very hard life. I shouldn't be making content because I don't have enough free time, but I need it for therapy. I need it to talk to you guys. I need it to create my division from what I do on a daily basis. It's just so hard. But I need it because I miss you guys when I'm not talking. And I'm here sitting down, and I'm sitting down on my chair, and you guys are all around me, and we're in a huddle, and I see you, and I see all these questions. So yes, when people say is why did the Elites worship him? Elites means followers of El. They follow them because he is the god of gods. And again, I'm not going too deep on this video because I've done a lot of them in my videos. So if you think, well, you've not mentioned this, Paul, I have in videos. And I'm just answering the top questions that I can remember. So the Elites worship Janus because he's the connection. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. You know what I mean? He is the circumpunct, the Godhead. He is the key. Hence the Vatican built like a key. Hence why on the same so-called line, latitude or whatever it is in Japan, They have the key graves in Kyoto. They're called the Eternal City. There's only two places called the Eternal City. Vatican and Kyoto both have keys and doors. I talked about that in a video. So you can see the significance. Again, these are all interacting questions that I've mentioned. It is a topic that keeps on giving. The huge thing that we've had in the last 3 years is the pandemic, face masks, the jabs, what they use to treat it, all Janus's I've talked about for years. Face masks making you two-faced. It's all there. And I've showed it. And I'm just glad now that people are talking about it. Because in a way, yeah, I'm glad that people's listening and seeing the significance. Because some people need to take this on from me. I've carried it on my back alone for a long time. And we all need help. So why'd hide Janus? Because Janus is the skeleton key. Think about it. Would you tell everyone? People say, why lie about the shape of the earth and you can run off the things? Again, all these lies was brought in the greatest reset ever. The great vow to L shift, the great vowel shift. From the 11th, 12th century to the 19th, everything that we know in this realm was changed. And they hid everything. Because they're changing the vows to another L. The jurisdiction of L is this realm. I've showed you this, and that's why I talk about the realm of 11 a lot, because it's all interconnected. And if people believe there's other land outside the ice wall, or we're hidden in the chamber like me, how would you get to it? You would need a gateway. Well, what if we had two islands on the opposite so-called ends of this realm, both called Janus? Is that done because he is the god of doorways? Is it the power system? Who knows? We're all theorising, but it's bloody cool when someone talks about, you saw all the videos. I've talked about this many times in videos. You saw all these videos, oh, there's land outside here, and they're naming these lands, and oh yeah, they just go through a doorway. Who's the fucking god of doorways and portals? But why don't they tell you that about these islands being at the north and so-called south? And this is why, again, I research Janus. Because it's the oldest name. People are talking about transhumanism. People are talking about AI. Why are you not talking about Janus? You know, there's programs at DARPA and IARPA of Janus facial recognition and so on. Binary 0101. You can just see the connections with everything. Why would you not research something that he was the first pope? The father. That's why they call him his Latin name Ionos, Ian us, father. Look at the word Christian. Christ Ian. Another epithet and derivative of Janus is Ian. What the fuck, Paul? Are you saying Christian is Christ Janus? Christ Janus? It is. If you just look at the language. Christian, Christ, split. Left with Ian. Ian is a derivative of Janus. So you could say Christ Janus. Are you saying God is Christ? I'm saying the information that I've seen on years is pointing that direction, but it could be biased from them. And that's where your intuition and everything, some people have called them the demiurge. Just look at the word Gaia, meaning earth. Another name for Gaia. G-A-I-A. It's got I-A in it. AI. But what's funny is the G-A, it's masculine. Gaia comes from Gallus, meaning cock. Cock. The penis, but also the cockerel. Why has no one talked about that? I know. I've mentioned this years ago. So Gaia, G-A-A-I, or whatever you pronounce it. G-A is a derivative of Gallus, meaning cock. What is the symbol for Janus? It is the penis, the phallus, also the cockerel. He has it at his feet. That's why I've talked about it in my video. That's why they circumcise a lot of people to reveal the Janus aspect of the penis. His other name is concevious. So he is there at the art of your conception, your soul. Why has people not mentioned that? You know what I mean? I could go on for hours and hours and hours, but I just wanted to talk about the 6 biggest questions that people have researched to me and asked me. And I know this will be boring, like I said, for a lot of people who saw it, but I'm glad. I am, in a way, glad that people look into it. And I don't hold any grudges to anyone. I'm past that. All I would like is, people to give a heads up, because I've been frozen and hid by YouTube for a long time, and it's like I said, I find it really, really hard. And people, when you get in like my situation, have done it, and there's people at home who are doing it. You have hardly any energy for nothing, and I just keep coming back to make content for my mind and for help people, to show, listen guys, if I can do it, you can do it if you want to do it. Do I recommend it? I don't know, that's another question, but we need each other. We have to be separate but also together. We have to have that choice. Choice is good. And this topic is just, you saw my videos over the years. Again, why are they not researching it? They are now, but they're only talking it from an aspect of it that is restricting themselves. Janus isn't just 2 heads. He has 4 heads. He has 5. He has 6. All the multiple gods are epithets of him. Why are they hiding this? Because they don't want you to have the connection. Now, whether you believe he's God, again, I just believe it's the essence of whatever we are in. If you need something to go to A to B, his other name is Mercury or Hermes. They're associated with Janus. So Zeus, Acarte, Cardia, Kybel, Diana, Juno, Diana, Dianos, Apollo, Lucifer. Again, it's not just me pulling names out my ass and saying they're Janus. I'm saying I've showed you evidence in the past of written books saying they're Janus. And that's why I reverse Janus, because he connects. You know what I mean? Word in the Bible, when Egypt, the angel was sent down and they put lamb's blood, where did he put that? Yes, on the door. Why? Could the angel not go through the window? Or through the roof? Or just enter? No, because what is the frigging front door? The frigging front door is the threshold. That's why you see it married and carry the bride over the threshold. The threshold. Janus is the threshold god. The threshold god. They are asking his fucking permission. When you get a warrant, that is to basically get permission from Janus to get through that threshold. Think about it. Basically, we have no rights. Why did he have to give you a warrant? Because Janus, vampires, need to be given permission to come in. And then the Janus research spirals into the realm of 11 and all the 11s that's connected. So this topic can connect everything. So why are people not researching it and just sticking to... And you might say, well, you're just sticking to Janus, but bloody hell, if you saw any videos I've done on Janus that actually is not about Janus, but it's helped me, it's mind-blowing. And if someone says to you, don't research Janus, they're the gatekeepers. Oh, what's that term? Gatekeeper. Oh, it's derived from, you got it, Janus. When people talk about Tartaria and the multiple heads of the Tartarian flag and different things, it's Janus. Why are they not saying it? All these giants tied to Janus. And you could be saying, oh, well, bloody hell, everything's not connected to Janus, Paul. I'm showing you everything, all the information that I've collected points to that direction, and you have to put it together. And you can see what I found. Some of you guys have been with me since the beginning, and you've been blown away. And this is like saying, why is it Janus' oldest name, I A in Greek is 11, represents the door. Why does God call himself I am the door? All this. The pineal, I Janus, that's its name. Janus, first Pope, the Vatican, the key, the holiest, one of the holiest rituals that the Vatican do is the holy door. It's only opened in the time period the Pope deems a holy year, every 20 odd years, sometimes it could be 17. When the Pope deems it a holy year, they basically plastered and cemented over a door, and he rip it down and he opened the door. Who's the god of doors? Whose name is Peter, Pater, Father, Janus. And they have a holy door ritual. Wow. Some people will call Janus the devil, because the devil means more than one name. I forgot, it's just gone on my head. Being used with an A, you know what I mean? But, it means adversary. There we go, adversary. All I know is I just found something cool many years ago, and it opened the door and it's got me you guys, so I do appreciate that. And guys, just go away and research it for yourself, because you'll find connections to everything. Why wouldn't you? So when we are seeing people on social media saying, why did NASA lie? Why did the government lie? Ask yourself this, guys. Why are all these so-called truthers lying and not showing you the significance of Janus? Because you see it every year. Janus is January. They moved the calendar for him. He's in charge of the calendar. So something the significance of that. I mean, look at it in the Great Val 12 shift period. They lost X amount of days in September, so they could get it all in. How many days did they lose? That's just a coincidence, Paul. So you can see the real significance. Pandemic, pineal, cymatics, religion, Christianity, Vatican, Enki, EA, obviously, Enlil, and all that, all associated with this. Again, some of these are just my interpretations that I found, but 9 out of 10 I have found written evidence in books. But like I've said to you guys, does not mean it's fact. Don't take my word for it. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm just saying, why is it being hidden? Why is no one else talking about it? And no one did for a long time. What you find a lot now is people are start talking about a certain time and period in life, when 2 towers and 3 towers were taken down, and what date does that add to? Adds to 11. They say now Jesus was born on September the 11th. So you can just say, why are they saying all these things? Why? Because it's all information. Again, it's all pieces, chapters in a book. Some people will believe chapter 1 and not read at the end. When you have a God that is named the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, because of the aspect of he is, he was there at creation. Genesis derives from Janua, like Janua, the name. It's derived from basically bloody Janus. Creation, the word of God, 1-1. It's a doorway, and I've showed you through the years the 11 represents a doorway, but it's not just the only number. So that is Janus' oldest name. Why do I research Janus? Because all these connections. Why wouldn't you? Why do other creators ignore you? Because I'm like their guilty pleasure. But I don't hold no grudges, and I don't mean to anyone who does. This is not no disrespect. This is just me replying to questions. Is Janus evil or good? He's both. It's the intent. It's how you use it. I've talked about how from Consivius to Apollo to Diana, all these gods are named. Lucifer is another one is associated with Janus, the light bringer. You know, it's why and Prometheus. It's funny that the moon, Saturn has moons, and one of them is Janus, and the other one is Epidamus, which is his brother, and their path makes a godhead circumpunct. Just funny that, isn't it? So all these are just why I researched Janus. Why do the Allies worship Janus? Because you can see the significance. If he's a god of transitions, doorways, portals, you have to contact him to get to other gods. You have to contact him to get to demons, negative energy, positive and negative Januses, the poles, two sides of the brain. I've talked about this for many years. People talk about the why, you know, Back to the Future and things like that. That is Janus. Janus, you can say Janus with a Y. It's still doing Europe. But that Y, or the Furka cross, comes together with the 11, because it's a doorway. All these Y's are from, you can get it in the brain, but also you can get it from Janus's door. His temple was the boundary of Rome. You know, they opened and shut it in times of war, and it was only closed in peacetime. They were at war at the other times 3 times. The Trinity. The doors were, I always forget this, because they either closed the times in I think it was peace, and opened them in war. And basically they were only opened 3 times, and the first day was, and the last time it was the 29th. All adds to 11. So when you see this symbol, and this symbol is, let me just rip it off. This is a symbol used for God and Christ in some religions, and you'll see in many religions that they will hold serpents in them. It's Janus. It's also, it looks like the Yoni, because obviously that's part of the creation. As you can see, that is Janus's doorway. It's on his coins. I've showed it in one of the videos, but it's also Jesus on the cross in the middle with the people around him. But it's Janus's door. But this is what it is. Janus doesn't just stop there. Remember, he has personas, which are masks, which are your personality. We all have Janus in us. People say, oh, well, Trump is Janus. Yeah, so are you. So are you, so are you, so are you. Anything that's a doorway, you have the pineal. That's his name, Janus. When you scrunch your face, some more than others, you have 2 11 lines. Right in between the pineal. So this was just a quick, short 1-hour video, guys, asking or replying to 5 of the questions asked about Janus. So hopefully I've not bored you, because some of you already know this. It's hard to talk about Janus and not go delve too much, because that's what I've not done today. I've not really delved. I just want to get your juices flowing if you're new. So if you're new, you then can check out the other content that I've made on it, and you'll see, if you're interested in why are all celebrities, not all celebrities, but some of the celebrities hung on doorknobs, because it's a ritual to Janus. He's a god of doors. You know what I mean? So you can just see how interesting and wide ranging the topic is. It encompasses so much. So guys, thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching. If you're new, please check out the other videos on Janus. For anyone who's watched Janus before, I do apologise, you know all this, but I had to just do a video because people were just inundating me on social media about this, and I just want, you know, I don't want to make a video saying this is Janus, because I've already done it so many times. But I just wanted to, you know what, I'll answer 5 of the top questions on Janus, and I'll put it into a video. So please guys, stay safe, look after yourself, do one good deed. Please do one good deed a day. Change someone's life, and ask them to do one good deed a day. And if you can do anything more, please like, share and subscribe the video. And if you want to buy me a coffee, the link is in the description. So guys, stay safe. Thank you for watching What the Flock TV. And now the thinking man. Bye guys.